Jurgen Klopp returns to big football. Official: Chelsea signs new star. Florentino Perez leaves Real Madrid and Tottenham's powerful reinforcement. All of this and more in today's episode. Tottenham is actively working on the transfer of Takefusa Kubo. The Japanese winger from Real Sociedad has become a priority target for the London club in the winter transfer window. According to Football Insider, the Spanish club is ready to consider selling the player if they receive an offer of around £52 million sterling. This is a high price, but the Spurs are ready to invest in a player who can give the team a new attacking impetus. Kubo is not just a fast winger. He possesses exceptional dribbling, the ability to play between the lines, create moments out of nothing, and operate in tight spaces. In Tottenham's system, he can become a key element in building attacks, especially amid Kulusevski's inconsistent form and the lack of depth on the wings. In addition, his versatility allows him to be used on both the right and left flanks, or even in the number 10 role. Earlier, Liverpool and Aston Villa showed interest in Kubo, but Tottenham currently appears the most decisive. If the deal goes through, it will not just be a high-profile transfer, it will be a strategic reinforcement that could change the team's game dynamics in the second half of the season. Ibrahima Konaté has confirmed that negotiations with Liverpool regarding a new contract are ongoing, but a final decision has not yet been made. I've seen a lot in the press lately. I don't know where it comes from. My agents are continuing negotiations with Liverpool. I hope that a decision will be made very soon, and I will be able to announce it, the defender said in a comment to the British media. Konaté's contract runs until June 2026, but the club wants to secure his future now to avoid the risk of losing a key player. Liverpool is confident that they can convince the Frenchman to stay, although negotiations are taking longer than expected. The player himself does not hide that he wants clarity in the near future, and does not rule out that a decision will be made before the winter transfer window. Amid interest from other top clubs, particularly from Spain, the situation around Konaté remains sensitive. But so far, there are no signs of conflict or a desire to leave. On the contrary, both sides are showing readiness to reach an agreement. If a compromise is found soon, Liverpool will receive an important reinforcement for years to come. If not, the club could face a difficult choice in the summer. Jurgen Klopp is returning to big football this time, not as a coach, but as a TV commentator. The former Liverpool and Borussia Dortmund manager, who announced a break from his coaching career after the end of the 2023-2024 season, will join the MagentaTV expert team for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. This was officially announced in the company's press release, and Klopp himself confirmed the news in a video message. Many of us always know how we will be better, but I really couldn't imagine it. Returning to the sidelines, I don't miss anything. That's what I always thought. But now I feel the thrill again. The grass underfoot, the fiery atmosphere in the stadium. I want to be really close to the action again. No, not as a coach. I will become a MagentaTV expert during the 2026 FIFA World Cup, Klopp said. After leaving Liverpool, he took over as head of Red Bull's global football division, overseeing clubs in Leipzig, Salzburg, and New York. He also joined the expert council of the German Football League, which is engaged in reforming national football. Klopp's appearance on air will be a real gift for viewers. His charisma, deep understanding of the game, and emotionality promise to make the World Cup broadcasts even brighter. It seems that Florentino Perez's era at Real Madrid is coming to an end. According to Spanish insider Pepe Alvarez, the legendary president plans to leave his post in the summer of 2026, 2 years earlier than his official term ends. Perez believes that this moment will be optimal for a smooth transfer of power to his successor, without unnecessary political tension within the club. Florentino has led Real Madrid since 2009, and his first term lasted from 2000 to 2006. During this time, he transformed the club into a global empire. From the Galacticos era and Cristiano Ronaldo's transfer to 5 Champions League victories and a large-scale reconstruction of the Santiago Bernabeu. His management style, tough, strategic, sometimes confrontational, causes controversy, but the results speak for themselves. Real Madrid under Perez not only won titles, it set standards for all European football. And although the successor's name has not yet been announced, The club is already preparing for a new era. Perez's departure will be one of the most important political moments in the history of Real Madrid and, perhaps, the entire football world. Chelsea is preparing a transfer maneuver that could overturn the entire logic of the modern market. The club intends to make Vinicius Jr. the most expensive acquisition in history, offering around €150 million. This is not just an attempt to buy a star, it is a bid to create a new attacking identity, where Vinicius will be the central figure. In London, they already dream of a Brazilian trio: Vinicius, João Pedro, and Estevão Willian. Technique, speed, improvisation, all this should turn Chelsea into a team that not only plays, but dominates. Vinicius is a player who can carry the ball across half the field, create moments out of nothing, and break down the opponent's defensive structures. His experience in the Champions League, status as a Real Madrid leader, and age only 25 years old make him an ideal candidate for building a new project. In Madrid, the situation is not easy. After Kylian Mbappe's arrival, the balance in the dressing room has changed, and negotiations for Vinicius's new contract have stalled. The player wants recognition but does not feel full trust, especially from Xabi Alonso, who does not always give him a key role in matches. In parallel, Chelsea continues to invest in the future. The club has officially agreed on the transfer of 16-year-old defender Dana Ordóñez from Independiente del Valle. As confirmed by Fabrizio Romano, the Ecuadorian will join the club in January 2028, when he turns 18. Premier League footballers are increasingly turning to former MMA fighters as personal bodyguards. Alarms, cameras, and even security companies no longer guarantee safety. Criminal groups from Manchester and Liverpool have turned elite areas like Prestbury and Knutsford into a real Disneyland for robbers who prey on players' homes, especially during their trips for European matches. As reported by the Mail, one major club, whose players live in Cheshire, has already hired 2 bodyguards with combat backgrounds. One is responsible for daily escort, the other literally lives in the footballer's house when he is away. These are not just bodyguards, these are people who have experience fighting at the highest level and will not back down in case of conflict. They accompany players not only at home but also in nightclubs, at events, in everyday life. The need for such protection became especially acute after a series of high-profile robberies. Raheem Sterling's house was broken into by intruders while he was at home with his children. The incident occurred on November 8 in Berkshire. A representative of the player confirmed that everyone was safe but called it the most serious breach of privacy. Chelsea promptly expressed support for Sterling and his family, offering comprehensive assistance. It is expected that more and more Premier League players will switch to a similar security model, entrusting their lives not only to technology, but also to people capable of physical resistance. In a world where status and wealth make you a target, combat experience becomes the new standard of protection. Newcastle has once again intensified negotiations for James Trafford, the 23-year-old English goalkeeper who is not getting playing time at Manchester City. Eddie Howe's club has been tracking the player for several seasons and was close to signing him in the summer. But then City decided to recall Trafford from Burnley, exercising their buyback option. He was expected to become the second choice after Ederson, but Gianluigi Donnarumma's transfer from PSG changed the lineup, and Trafford found himself on the bench, playing only 3 matches in 6 months. Newcastle is looking for competition for Nick Pope, who is not always consistent, and sees Trafford as a long-term solution. The goalkeeper himself wants to be in England's squad for the 2026 World Cup, and without regular play, this is almost impossible. City is ready to consider loan or even sale options if the player insists on a transfer. In January, the situation could change and Trafford could finally get a chance to become the number 1 at a club that truly counts on him. After England's 2-0 victory over Serbia in the qualifiers, Rooney stated on the Wayne Rooney Show on BBC that he doesn't see Grealish making Thomas Tuchel's squad for the World Cup. Jack Grealish can already book his summer vacation because he won't make the squad, Rooney said, emphasizing that competition in the national team's attack is too high, and the player himself is not showing consistent form. Interestingly, Grealish is currently spending the season on loan at Everton, where, according to observers, he has started to regain form. However, despite some progress, he has not yet received a call-up from Tuchel, who seems to be relying on others, specifically Ebereki Eze and Bukayo Saka, who scored in the match against Serbia. England has already secured its place at the 2026 World Cup, so the coaching staff is using the remaining matches to test the squad. But for Grealish, it seems those doors are closing, at least, if Rooney's words are to be believed. That's it for now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Keep watching for more football action, and have a wonderful day.